Welcome, everyone. And I just want to know, so why are you here? Have you thought of like why you're here and what you want to accomplish? Are you here to make more money? A second income, perhaps? Are you looking for financial independence? Would you like to not have to wake up to the alarm every morning, not have a boss? And maybe in these times of like the insecurity people are having, maybe you want no more job insecurity. You want to be financially stable. So, what is your why? Like, really, if you had the money, what would it be for? Do you want more money to travel? More time with family? Do whatever you want? Buy a home? Or in Hong Kong, buy a flat? Pay your rent? Maybe you want a comfortable retirement? Financial security in times of crisis like this? And even not to be a burden when you're kids, when you get old. So, we're going to talk about specifics. But first, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. So, I'm Shelley Bowman, and I've got a pretty good life. I can say that I've traveled quite a bit before the virus hit. I was in Vietnam for Chinese New Year. I spent a lot of time doing, yoga and meditation and retreats, and going to a sacred mountain in the Himalayas. Rode a horse through the desert. It had a name, but you you get the picture. I've traveled a lot, done a lot. I've got two successful digital marketing businesses. I just have to say that where I'm at now in terms of who I'm working with and what I'm doing is awesome, but it wasn't always that way. I was a creative director in the corporate world, and I can honestly say I wasn't following my own morals and my own, you know, moral compass. You can say I was working with people that weren't very nice. They were operating on a money driven or greed driven. I worked with some really not nice people that weren't nice to other people. I saw people crying in offices, and it just was not nice. At one point, I had eczema from my neck to my feet because I was so stressed out. So I decided to start into being an entrepreneur. And since then, I've done a pretty good job. But one thing I have to say is that I've done a lot of research on multi-level marketing companies, network marketing companies, and I found this company called TLC, Total Life Changes, and their moral compass aligns with mine. It's two founders. There's no like stockholders. There's two founders, and they started it 20 years ago. It's now a multi-million-dollar company, but they still have the heart. They're still doing it for their family, for their coworkers, for their people, and I just love, what they're doing. They have this energy about them that's just amazing. So, so that's a little bit about me, and now we want to know a little bit more about you. So let's go back to this. And what are your goals? How much do you want per month? Be specific. Do you want to, what's it for? What do you want in terms of actual finances? What's your immediate financial goals? In the next 2 to 3 months, where do you want to be? Next 2 to 3 years, where do you want to be? Specifically, get a piece of paper out and write down these goals. Where do you want to be in 2 to 3 months? Where do you want to be in 2 to 3 years? What's that look like for you? Financially, like, what do you want per year in 5 to 10 years? What is that going to look like for you? You've got these goals in your mind. Maybe you want to be making 6,000 per week now, or 6,000 per month, and then, 2 to 3 years, you want to be making 6,000 per week, and you want to be making 500,000 per year in 5 to 10 years. And how are you going to make that? How much are you making now? If you're 30 years old now and want to retire when you're 60 years old, you only have 360 paydays left. So if you save half of your money that you're making now for your retirement, can you? Can you even save half of what you're making now and put that towards your retirement so that you will be able to survive possibly till you're 90? So you need, in the next 30 years, to actually save enough for the next 30 years. And think about inflation. Your standard of living is not going to be that great, even if you save half of what you're earning now. Do you want to not worry about how you'll survive when you get old? I mean, if you're young, then some of these things might not have occurred to you, but it's time to start thinking about that. You need to make new choices and take new actions now that will change your future. So, how are you going to reach your goals? To live well now and in future. You know, that right now you want to travel, you want to live life. At some point you're going to want to have a family. You're going to want to not be a burden to that family when you get older. You're going to, you know, need some financial independence, because if you keep working your 9 to 6 job or whatever, you might not be able to reach those goals. So what if teamwork is the answer? Teamwork. So, not just working for yourself and your family, but what if there's people you don't even know that are helping you make a living? I just have one question. Are you willing to let someone help you do exactly what they did to get success? Would that appeal to you if you had someone give you exact instructions about what they did? So, how do you get started? Total Life Changes, which I've told you a little bit about, we have this thing called the Purple Book. And it goes through these 3 simple steps of your personal goals and your information. You come up with all this information. They have apps that you can use. It's a very simple little book, and it's easy to follow. And this gets you on your pathway. So this we'll talk about in a little bit more. So these are the 3 areas: personal goals and information. With TLC, your goals are possible. Your TLC sponsor, that's someone like me who would sign you up, would work with you to guide you on the road to success. So you're not just that, you you say, okay, I want in, and then you're just kind of left alone. You actually have people that you work with. We'll help you build your team. Work with just a few people, and they work with a few people, who then work with a few people, and eventually everyone wins. And TLC has this amazing compensation plan where the people above you are contributing to your growth. The people below you are contributing to your growth. So even people on the other side of the planet that you don't even know are all building your team. So you might get in 2 or 3 key people, and you might have hundreds of people in your team in a very short time. So when I talk about teamwork, I'm talking global teams. So we're starting up in Asia. There's global teams going throughout the world now, but in Asia it's just getting off the ground. So it's a very good time to be, building your team, because there's not been any real exposure. So let's look at some numbers. Remember, you had those targets, those goals, those financial goals that you were really, it's that, do you want to be making 6,000 US a month? Do you want to be making 10,000 US a month? What are your specific targets? So we're going to look at some numbers and see if these resonate with you. So if you get 2 people on your 2-team strategy, that's like you've got 2 teams, so 9 people on each team, you might only get 1 or person on each of those teams, and then the people above you put people under those people. So it's very quick to build 9 members on each team. So that looks like an extra 600 US a week, maybe $100 a week extra. You just need to get a couple people under you, and then other people on top put people under you. So that's 4,000 Hong Kong. You could take your kids to Disneyland and stay in a decent hotel for that. Okay, what if you get a couple more people? Over time, you will get more and more and more members under you. If you were adding to your existing income, say 23,000 Hong Kong dollars, would that be of interest to you? You're not getting 42 members on each team. You're getting a few members, and other people are adding people under them. That's US 36,000 per year. Are you getting how awesome this is? You're getting and working with a very few people, and those teams would be built by, like, I would I'm going to introduce you to someone on our team. I signed him up, and then I'm working with him, and at some point he will be working with his people. But in the meantime, other people above us are adding people underneath him. So he's growing. Let's look at some further numbers. So say that team that you put a couple people on each side of you, on each of your little teams, The people above you are adding people. Then those team members start adding a few members. And pretty soon, these sound like big numbers, but it's not when you have a lot of people adding. Say it gets to 167 members on each team. That's looking at like 150 or 135,000 Hong Kong per month. Would that interest you? That's like 4 to 10,000 US weekly. Just down here, there's a little caveat that this is based on you spending 150 US dollars per month. You know, that's it. And you're getting products. You're not just spending money, you're getting products. We have amazing organic garden, you know, natural products, all made with herbs and super powerful products. But I'll get to that in a minute, because what we're talking about now is more, you know, the number side. So does it get any better than this? Yes, it does. So your teams keep growing, and over time, it keeps growing. So what if you get up to, you know, 400 people? That's not hard. You still have got those few people that you get in, and then eventually you get some more people. And eventually, like over time, maybe in a year or so, you're earning 338,000 Hong Kong dollars per month. Does that interest you? Does earning 10 to 19,000 weekly, does that interest you? So now you're getting the possibilities. So again, the two-team strategy, it keeps growing. And, you know, those few people turn into a few more people and a few more people over time. Do you want to be earning $1 million US a year? Does that work for you? That's still you spending 150 US per month on very viable products. That's like getting 3 different products that you use for a month. These are very good for weight loss and health. And, you know, we're not selling, you know, really consider, are these interesting numbers to you? Are you ready to be a team player? So how do you get started? Again, it's easy. I went through that 3-step process. It's that easy. You get this the purple book I showed you. You go through this 3-step process with the person who sponsored you. You go through this, and you launch, and you get a few people under you. This in the middle is some of the products. You have to learn about the products, but they're really cool. So, and then, you know, you get moving. So team building, as I said, you're building up from people underneath you and people above you. So you're all working together, you're motivating each other. If people want to motivate you, they might give you, you know, some points in your back office. You can, you know, get some products to give to people. There's competitions, there's all kinds. There's like 6 different ways to earn money. There's all kinds of things happening within TLC's compensation plan, but within your team, you're working all together. You know, the people above me are benefiting from what I'm doing. The people below me are benefiting from what I'm doing. And, you know, we're all working together. So I just want to introduce you to a couple people from the TLC Asia Legacy team. So Adrian, would you like to come on?
Hey everybody. Yeah, I'm Adrian, and Shelley has signed me up for this program, and I have never done anything like this in my life. I'm a chef for 30 odd years, but because of the current situation in Hong Kong, the protests and now the virus, I've been looking for other opportunities, and Shelley approached me, and you know, I was interested in how to make money with low investment, but I got to keep my eyes high. And you know, in less than 4 months, I've managed to make it to what we call a director level, which means I was quite skeptical at the beginning. So it's made me realize that there is a truth to this. I've already made I've made 200 US so far, like cash, which is really encouraging for me. And I'm starting, and the things I got a product I really like. I mean, the tea itself, I feel better. It's really good, so I can sell it because I enjoy it. And they have other products as well. And my kids love it.
That's your why.
And that's my why. Also, the other thing I've got is I'm learning so much. having never done anything like this before, I'm working and I've met incredible people like Shelley, Nicole in the States, Sean. The team is truly incredible. These guys have been doing this for years, and they've been very kind in putting up with my silliness and my kind of asking daft questions on how this all works. So as you can see, I am not a professional speaker, but what I can say is the product speaks for itself. I drink it daily. The people I'm introducing it to, they all enjoy it, and they're coming back for more, and they're enjoying watching kind of the community feel that we're getting together. So yeah, I'm Adrian. Pleasure, and I look forward to some of you signing up and working with you all, because I want to become executive director.
Okay, I just want to play a video here. Can you see this?
Don't know if I can hear it. No sound.
Yeah. Okay, so we're having technical issues with that video, but I just want to introduce, that was actually a video of Nicole's father, and he worked with TLC and then sadly passed away 3 years ago, and Nicole inherited his business. So when we talk about building a legacy, we're actually, it's true. Nicole and her brother inherited their dad's business that he had built. So when you build a legacy, it goes on to your kids. Like Adrian has his 2 daughters. He's building a legacy for his daughters. They will have a business when they get older. So I would like to invite Nicole to share. And unmute.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. How are we? I tell you what, it's a little early here in Seattle. Good morning, Adrian. Good morning, Shelley. Or good evening, and good morning, Tracy. So I just want to share just a little bit about me. So it is true. My brother and I actually did inherit my father's business. So my dad was a serial entrepreneur. He started off with a tire shop, and we had to work for our father in order to receive anything in life. It was actually quite amazing because what he has allowed my brother and I to do is to be a good steward of the entrepreneurship heart, but also he's instilled, my mother and my father instilled in us a love for helping others and helping our team, helping the community. So that is something that has really stuck with me. We have this unbelievable global team that he first launched with this company in Central and South America. So living in a family that has the entrepreneurship mindset, I took a lot from that. And what I really figured out is if you help others achieve their goals, in turn, the universe has a way of helping you achieve yours. And I just want to say, I'm so excited about Asia. It's very new, it's upcoming. There's not a huge footprint for our company, and it's just the beginning. So I received word a couple days ago that it is solid, good to go to build solidly in Hong Kong, in South Korea, in Thailand. I know that that's a place that Shelly and Adrian absolutely want to go. The Philippines, we do have a team in the Philippines, and when those restrictions are lifted, we're going to build solid in the Philippines, because if you think about this, you have to find something in life that you love, that you're passionate about, but also you have to be able to find something that can also bring food and bring income to the family. So fortunately, my dad was so good at finding different companies that he was able to work with. He was able to embrace their products, love their products. And when he did that, it landed. His last company that he was at was Total Life Changes. And I will give you a little bit of transparency here. So I live in Seattle, Washington. My brother lives in St. Augustine, Florida. And when we first inherited my father's success line and this beautiful company, we were awestruck, because we knew that Dad had always stated growing up, kids, you got to find something, build something that outlives you, figure it out, figure out what your passions are, figure out what you want to do in life. So my brother branched off, and by nature, he loves architecture. So he went into building beautiful homes. So he's a master builder. I went into banking, into finance. However, I got married and I had children. So therefore, I became a really good stay-at-home mom. And therefore, a little transparency, I did lose my identity a little bit, because I'm taking care of a husband, 2 children. But I knew that there was something inside of me where once the children were raised, and even inside the house, I dabbled in different forms of entrepreneurship. But once we received this, I was like, oh my lands, Freddie, but here's the deal. I have to love the products, because the products are the vehicle. That is the vehicle to make this whole thing work. Because if you don't fall in love with them, people see right through that, and you have to force yourself to be something that you're not. And that is not who I am. So the CEO and the COO of the company sent my brother and I the top products in their product lineage. And there's about 30 products. And I said, Freddie, here's the deal. My brother's name is Freddie J. And I said, you carry Dad's name. If you don't love them, if I don't love them, you carry Dad's name. I'm going to push you up front, and you're going to be the face of everything. And I will take care of everything behind the scenes. Because I don't know, Freddie, I don't know. I might like them, might not. And this is going to get a little weird, because I'm all about integrity and about being true to my name. So we received them. About 2 to 3 days later, we circled back around, and I said, okay, Freddie, what do you think? And he's like, Nikki, you tell me first. And I said, Freddie, I love them. Can't believe it. And he's like, are you shocked? And I said, not that I'm shocked, but I was cautiously optimistic, because I wanted to make sure that I truly did love them. And I'm going to tell you, they're pretty awesome. They're amazing. And I'll just tell you a couple of my favorite products. I love the Delgado coffee, which, come to find out, guess what? Hong Kong has it. The tea is phenomenal. And once we really start building solid, we're going to be bringing more products in. We just have to have a baseline. But once you try these products, everything else becomes you have a whole nother perspective of what this company really means. So I want to encourage you to speak to the person who introduced you to this wonderful event that Shelley and Adrian and the Hong Kong office, they're getting ready to launch. And I am with them every step of the way because it's so important for me to carry on my father's legacy of giving back. And I want that footprint globally everywhere. So we are in Asia. We have teams that are in Central and South America. We have teams all throughout Europe. We have teams in the Philippines. But I am passionate about this team because I used to live in Japan for 3 years. My husband's active duty Navy, still is. So living in Japan, we would go, his ship would pull into Hong Kong. I loved it. So that is a place that my brother and I have always loved, Hong Kong. And I will say I love Beijing, China. We fell in love with we just fell in love with that intimate culture. So we will make it back once this whole thing is over. But I'm going to tell you, I'm with you. And then my business partner, Tracy, who we met in Sicily. I also lived in Italy, and we lived together in Italy. We're going to be launching over there sometime soon. So jump on board, ask all the questions that you need to ask. Shelley and Adrian know that I am solidly here to help them on every level. They can call me when I wake up. We're different time zones, but it doesn't matter. Let me see, what time is it? It's 4:01 in the morning, but guess what? That's how much passion runs through my family, but also through this team. So I'm going to turn it back to you guys. And I open my family to you. And I want you to really list your questions. If you've got anything that you want to know, we're an open book. So ask away. Shelley, I'm bringing it back over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Nicole. And yeah, it was lovely to hear your story. And I've heard you talk about that, but there's more in there than I've heard before. So I was getting a bit teary. It's like, oh, this is lovely. But anyway, so thanks for jumping in, and thanks for getting up super early. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that you didn't know if you'd like the products, because I've tried other companies and tried their products and just like, nah, I can't really sell this. Like, I won't mention them, but I just didn't feel the quality was there, or that people would actually like the products. Whereas the detox tea is amazing. That's the first one I tried. And then we're now getting in these other awesome products, the instant, which is much more convenient, and hopefully the CBD tea soon, and the energy. Oh my gosh. That's like, so yeah, I've got a couple here. Blossomy, we just got in Hong Kong. This is for women. It's got mushrooms and all kinds of amazing herbs that help with women's whatever. I won't go into that and introduce the guy and embarrass the guys. This is the instant tea. We just got that in, so you don't have to brew the tea overnight, although the brew tea is really good. What else did we get in? Oh, the Delgado coffee. It's coffee with mushrooms. So, and all of them have natural ingredients and herbs and really effective ingredients. So I won't get too much into the products. We're just gonna, just thinking more about your why. Like, why are you here? Why are you listening to this presentation? Do you want, to be getting more out of, life than working for someone else? So I'll just share my screen again and go back to this. So that was Nicole. And you have to know that you will be supported by the best, like Nicole. So, I joined this company through someone else, but then Nicole kind of found me and has been like just so supportive. And she's helped Adrian and I considerably. There's Sean, who was behind Adrian before. He's been putting tons of people below us and boosted us up to directors. So I can't say enough about the people that we're working with. So here's an important question. Are you interested? We can get moving now, and I can tell you how to start. It's not expensive. It's around your first product is around $50, and then there's a digital starter kit that's like $20. So it's not expensive to get started. So just know that we're not pushing something that's like you have to spend a gazillion dollars. You can start, moving towards your goals now. I like this quote by Roosevelt. And yeah, do I wish I'd started this a long time ago and was further down the line and, had a lot of people putting people under my people? I have to go back and say that Adrian signed up 2 people and he's now director. It's because there's people on top putting people under him. So just think of this. And then I'm going to open everything up to questions. And thank you for joining us. We're so excited that you joined us. And if you have any questions, please stick around. And I will open it up. We've got Tracy here on the call. We've got other people to answer questions. So let's see who's here.
You know what, Shelley? Let me just introduce Tracy real quick.
Yeah.
So that way you guys can get a feel of who is part of this team. So Tracy and I met in Sicily. We both live there. And I will give you another level of transparency here. So when we first received Dad's whole business, and it was mind-blowing of what he's built. Because remember, Dad was an entrepreneur for 30 plus years. So that meant that his name was attached to unbelievable people, and unbelievable people were attached to my father. So wherever my dad went, because of his reputation and the heart that he had, he created a following. And people follow people that, number one, are successful, but number two, they know that they have their best interests at hand. Well, I had to be sure, because remember, I'm a mother, 2 children, overseas, come back, live in Virginia. All this is happening. And I'm like, you know what? I need to wrap my brain around this and make sure that this is solid, this is good, because it is my name, it's my reputation, it's everything. And then my brother kept saying, Nikki, Dad never got involved in anything that wasn't solid. I'm like, I get it, but I have to move in my own time. So Tracy knew something was happening, because I was very tight-lipped about what I had, but she knew something was happening. So she kept asking and asking and asking, and it took a year before I felt comfortable sharing this unbelievable opportunity. That's why I don't shut up about it now, because I needed to make sure that everything was solid, that the founders were amazing, that the products were great, that I loved them, but I also needed to learn how to build a team like my father. And I needed to learn how to integrate those entrepreneurship skills and make other people successful and help other people reach their goals. So I'm going to turn it over to Tracy, and you're going to hear a little bit from her of how this whole thing happened. So now we've got teams pretty much everywhere, and we want to make that mark. So Tracy?
Hi, good morning or good evening. I am here in Maryland in the US, and it is about 7 in the morning here. So a little bit less early than Nicole, but I cannot tell you enough about what I have learned about this company. Total Life Changes, when I started doing my research, because I knew Nicole was excited about something, and I was very persistent. I was like, what are you doing? How can I help? I was trying to find all these different ways to find out what she was doing, because I wanted to be part of something. And as a military spouse as well, moving around, we find it can be hard to connect with people, but when you find those connections and in your heart that they have the same values and the integrity that you have, and you want to connect with those types of people, then things just start happening. And Nicole and I connected, like I said, in Sicily, and she introduced me to the products and the company, and I started doing my own research and watching the videos, learning about Jack, Fallon, John Lucari, and the whole Total Life Changes family. Because I have to tell you, when you really do get plugged in to TLC, it is a family. It feels like family. We care about one another. The integrity, the credibility, the 20-year process that's happened from Jack, starting this vision, and then bringing key people along the way to come alongside him and build this vision to what it is today. It is amazing. And I am so hooked just because I see the integrity, I see the heart of the people that are in this company. So when Nicole brought me to this, and her brother, Freddie J, as well, incredible people. And then you start seeing the types of connections, and then Shelly, and then Adrian. And I'm like, this is so amazing as we start to build. And I just can't say enough about the feeling, because part of the core values of the company, there's 7 core values, and they stick to those core values. And the integrity and just the feel of the family is really important, because we do care about one another. And then the products are amazing. So I can't tell you anything else rather than the integrity of the company. The products are amazing, and you get plugged in, you'll feel it too, because that is you can't really put a price on that. When you feel like you're part of something, and you feel the culture, you feel the products work, you feel like you're plugged in, and then you can help others around the world, because it's not just a local company now, we are global. Who do you know? Who do they know? And then who do they want to help? So that's what this team is going to be built on. Quality people with integrity. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it. And another thing is that we ship to 150 countries. So I always tell people that have built a team, go through the list of what the countries are that we ship to. And if there's one that you like, look at that country and see what products that we offer, that we ship to, and start thinking about, in the future, building your team there if it's a place you've always wanted to go visit. So that's what I do.
Thank you, Nicole and Tracy. That's awesome. And what Tracy was referring to when she said her story, and that's what she's sticking to, is we got on a call with Les Brown, who loves what we're doing. And if you don't know Les Brown, Google him. He's a motivational speaker. He's way before Tony Robbins. He's an amazing guy, super inspirational. And yeah, just because Nicole and her connections and whatever, he loved what Tracy and Nicole are doing. And so Les Brown just did a call with us, and we put it on, we were filming it live, and he had him on, and he wants to work with our team. Les Brown, check him out. But he's someone I've met at other big events, and he always ends with that, that's my story, and that's what I'm sticking to. And he's another thing he always says is you got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry to succeed. So with that, I'll just say that I've put a couple links down below. Oh yeah, Tracy's showing you Les Brown's book. But I've put a couple links. One is the link, because we couldn't get it to play, but there's a link in the chat. If you go to the chat over down here somewhere, click on the little chat button, and there's a link to the video of Nicole's father. And we couldn't get that to play, but it's an awesome little story where he talks about going into South America, and these people had this very small annual or monthly income and him growing it and exponentially. These people were, very fast getting substantial incomes. And I just want you to equate that to what we're doing in Asia, because he went into a place that there was nothing there. There was no other people selling there. He took TLC in and exploded in South America, and that is what's built the legacy of Nicole and Fred. Their awesome dad, Fred Sr. And, he went into a new market, and you're in the position to do that now, because we're launching in Asia, and we're doing the same thing. We're going to be launching and building legacies in Asia. So I put the link to his little video in there, and he's an awesome speaker, very humble, very laid back. So do watch that when we finish. Copy it, because I think once we go away, you can't get this. And then I also put the TLC Asia Legacy website in there. So if you didn't come from one of our meetup groups, then that's in there too. So I will open it up to, feel free to unmute yourself and let me know if you have any questions. So let's see. Jack, I just unmuted you. Do you have any questions?
Unmuted. No, not at this point. But I very much enjoyed the information this evening. It's really very, very interesting, and I'd like to. I know we're catching up soon, so it would be great to see some of these products when we catch up.
Yeah, next Tuesday. Okay, I'll bring some along so you can have some samples for you and your family to try.
Thank you.
Okay. I didn't mean to jump on you. I just wanted to.
No.
Okay, cool. Anyone, Vina, do you have any questions?
Hi, Shelly.
Hi, Vina. How are you?
Good. Thanks for inviting me. Last minute, I reached out and you reached out back, so that was nice. It was lovely hearing this presentation. I know you've been trying to introduce me to the lovely teas and everything, and you've sent me. I haven't tried it yet, I have to be honest. But listening to all this, I'm going to do that right away. I'm going to try it. And it
Awesome.
seems like an awesome company to work with and to deal with. I guess it's with everything in life, right? So any products that you love to sort of like refer your friends, and by referring, why not help everyone around, right? Not just yourself, but to really make sure that everyone is benefiting within the chain.
Yep. And that is so true within this company. And there's Sean sitting here, and he has this little thing that if you have like a really nice piece of chocolate or, a really nice something, do you share it with strangers or do you share it with friends? So, we're sharing with friends, but also, anyone who, if you have anyone or anyone that's been hit like Adrian by this crisis that needs some extra money, or anyone who needs to lose weight, because these products are amazing if you want to lose weight. Yeah. So I'm not just saying this for Vina, but anyone who wants to recommend people. This is an awesome opportunity. But yeah, thank you, Vina, for jumping on there, and
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you soon as well.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, so is there any more questions? I know Tracy and Nicole are here.
I just want to say one last thing. I am so excited for Hong Kong. You, in general, so I live in Seattle, Washington. The closest corporate office that I have is in California, actually. So it's in California, and then we have one, I believe, that is opening up in Texas. And then the main corporate office is in Michigan. So it's clear across my country. You guys, Hong Kong has an office locally that there's corporate staff available. You are under the unbelievable leadership of Sean. He's part of corporate there. And we are just really opening this opportunity for Hong Kong. So Hong Kong has an office. Hong Kong receives products. Hong Kong now has the ability for will call, so you can pick them up. And I just want to say, I can't wait for this whole thing to be over with, because my brother and I are heading back to Hong Kong. We loved it. One thing I loved was Ladies Market. So when I officially go there, I'm going back to Ladies Market. I'm excited about going to to the vendors, to the booths, to actually go and eat authentic Chinese, Cantonese. And Adrian, who is a professional chef, so he's very humble of who he's worked with. So once you get to know Adrian, he's going to share some tidbits of who he's worked with. So don't let this nice, gentle, kind face soul make you think that Adrian doesn't know people. He absolutely does. Same with Shelley. So you are attached to an unbelievable group of humans, and I'm excited to work with you guys. So I guess signing off here from Seattle, Washington. Is there anything else I can do to help?
Thank you. I think that's about all. We're just going to wind up, and we're a little bit early, but that's okay because, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Tracy and Nicole, especially like getting up super, super early, and for Jack and Bina, and I can't read who else is on here because I don't have my glasses on, but Sean, who's sitting here, and Adrian's daughter is in the office. So yeah, it's one big family right now. But yeah, I look forward to reaching out and speaking with you, and I will end there. So thanks again. Thanks for joining us. And we're going to be doing this monthly, so be prepared, and we will try different times. I know Adrian said some people couldn't join because it wasn't on the weekends. So a lot of people in Hong Kong work past 6:30, so it might be at a different time on the weekends. We'll just see how we can go with that, but we will be doing this monthly. And we're sitting now in the TLC offices, and yeah, we'll be doing more here. Once things open up more, we'll be having live events. So we can do live and Zoom for international people. So thanks again, everyone. And I will say good night, good morning. Go get your Delgada coffee and have a good day.
And I want to thank Shelley and Adrian and Sean for putting this together and being the trailblazers there in Hong Kong. And hi, yes, so very good. So happy and to be a part of this amazing team. So get back with the person that invited you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so thank you, everyone. And I'm just going to leave it here. So have a good evening, everyone. Jack and Bina and anyone else in Hong Kong. So thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Shelley.